Today we're taking a look at the NFL matches, which are happening on Saturday, August 28, 2021, and giving you match breakdowns, betting tips and predictions in general on these games. Welcome back to High Stakes, let's get straight into it. Also, don't forget to subscribe to get notified as soon as we release these sport prediction videos, and if you would like more betting tips and predictions, then check out our Patreon in the link down below. Our new Patreon is a way for us to help you improve your chances of making more money. 5 plans are available for each and every one of you. You can get 30 extra betting picks all the way up to 270 extra betting picks per month. Stop wasting hours of your time searching for bad betting advice that ends up costing you a lot of money. Join the High Stakes Patreon now and get the best betting picks and advice. Tampa Bay Buccaneers vs Houston Texans. The defending Super Bowl champs have posted an 0-2 Sioux Austrian shilling mark in the first 2 preseason outings, including a 34-3 blowout loss against the Tennessee Titans last time out. Tampa Bay is averaging 8.5 points per game. They finished with 3 points in their last game, throwing for 190 yards and rushing for 17 yards. Kyle Trask completed 13 of 16 passes for 131 yards and 2 interceptions. Rookie quarterback Davis Mills was impressive, going 10/16 for 115 yards. Ingram carried the ball 7 times for 24 yards and Houston's lone offensive touchdown, while Jordan Vesey had 2 catches for 30 yards. The Texans were outgained 308-220, but forced 4 turnovers, while recording 5 sacks. Keshawn Vaughn rushed for 18 yards on 9 carries, while Tanner Hudson had 6 catches for 74 yards. The Bucs rested most of their key personnel in that loss, and they're unlikely to use most of the starters in this one either. My first betting prediction for that game is to pick Houston Texans. The Texans are expected to be in for a rough ride in 2021, but the preseason has gone well. Houston is averaging 23 points per game. They scored 20 points in their last game, throwing for 131 yards and rushing for 88 yards. Davis Mills completed 10 of 16 passes for 115 yards. Mark Ingram rushed for 24 yards and 1 touchdown on 7 carries, while Jordan Vesey had 2 catches for 30 yards. Houston won 26-7 at Green Bay Og.14, and they topped the Lone Star State rival Dallas Cowboys 2014 on the road last Saturday. Don't expect the game plan against Tennessee to carry over into this weekend's matchup, as head coach Bruce Arians has indicated the starters will play up to a half or more depending on performance. Tom Brady might not see quite that much action as he enters his age 44 season, but other stars like Mike Evans, Chris Godwin and Devin White should get plenty of action. Rookie QB Davis Mills was 10 for 16 for 115 yards, while RB Mark Ingram rushed for the team's lone offensive touchdown. My second betting advice for that game is to pick over. Los Angeles Rams vs Denver Broncos. The Rams will sit their starters plus again, up to 35 players once more. Rookie WR Ben Skowronek will not play due to a fractured forearm. Los Angeles struggled offensively, averaging 15 points per game through their first 2 games. They scored 16 points in their last game, throwing for 202 yards, while rushing for 129 yards. Major news coming out of Denver the last few days was the announcement that Teddy Bridgewater would be the starter for Week 1. After spending last season in Carolina, he wasted no time in the preseason taking hold of the reins. Last week saw him go 9/11 for 105 yards and a touchdown, a week after going 7.8 for 74 yards and a touchdown against the Vikings. The Broncos will dominate against the Rams over the course in the first half strictly from the fact that both Bridgewater and Drew Lock will get the snaps for the Broncos against a group of second and third stringers. Denver's wide receiver group will have their way early and often with the Rams, even despite how strong that secondary has been. Between KJ Hamler, Jerry Jeudy, and then a backfield of Royce Freeman and Javonte Williams, there is too much talent within that offense in a preseason game to not come away with a masterful performance. Bryce Perkins completed 26 of 39 passes for 208 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception. Jake Funk rushed for 56 yards on 7 carries, while J.J. Koski had 8 catches for 61 yards. The punting duties will be handled exclusively by Corey Bajorquez, as Johnny Hekker remains on the reserve COVID-19 list under quarantine. DB Nick Scott was practicing in a knee brace. He will likely remain inactive for the preseason game, but expectations are that he could be ready for the season opener. My first betting advice for that game is to pick Denver Broncos. Rookie defensive back Robert Rochelle, wrist, practiced, but will likely not play against the Broncos. Defensive lineman Bobby Brown, thumb, should be ready to go for this one. Teddy Bridgewater completed 9 of 11 passes for 105 yards and 1 touchdown, while Drew Lock completed 9 of 14 passes for 80 yards. Royce Freeman led the team with 27 rushing yards on 9 carries. He also led the team with 5 catches for 44 yards. Fans will have to continue to wait to see Matthew Stafford in a Rams uniform for the first time, as well as wait to see stars Aaron Donald, Jalen Ramsey, and an impressive group of receivers take the field. It's actually more impressive than anything that the Rams have remained so close in their games, given the lack of star power they've had on the field the last few weeks. Hodges has made numerous starts in his NFL career, but really struggled in the preseason opener. He only went 11/19 for 85 yards in the start, throwing an interception, while giving way to Perkins, the dual threat option who went 7/10 for a touchdown, and then was the only quarterback to play last week. It was no surprise to see Hodges cut in. Saturday night seems to be a game where Perkins will get all of the reps yet again. Last week, Perkins went 26/39 for 208 yards and 2 touchdowns, while rushing for another 41 yards. RB Cam Akers remains out and will likely be assigned to injured reserve to start the season, and Darrell Henderson was practicing in a red jersey and won't play either. It remains to be seen if newly acquired RB Sony Michel will see any action in this one. My second betting advice for that game is to pick under. Quick reminder, you can get 125% cash back bonus on your first deposit on our partner sportsbook BetUS after you open an account using our link down below and use our promo code HIGHSTAKES when making your deposit. Los Angeles Chargers vs Seattle Seahawks. There is no QB controversy for the Chargers. Justin Herbert is going to be the starter this year after throwing for 4,336 yards with 31 touchdowns and 10 interceptions in his rookie campaign. Herbert has not appeared in either of the first 2 preseason games and will also rest against the Seahawks. Larry Roundtree has seen 8 carries in each of the first 2 preseason games. He had 63 rushing yards in the first game, but only 12 yards in the second game. The 6th-round rookie will get a decent amount of work in the final preseason game. The door is open for Roundtree to become Eckler's backup RB. My first betting advice for that game is to pick Los Angeles Chargers. The Seahawks are surprisingly winless in the preseason, despite Pete Carroll's past success in the preseason. He was 37-19-1 Austrian shillings, but is now 37-21-1 Austrian shilling after dropping the first 2 preseason games. They have been poor on offense this preseason, generating just 1 TD in 2 games. Russell Wilson, DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, and Chris Carson have not seen the field in the preseason, and it is not expected they will play in the final preseason game. Alex Mago and Sean Mannion. Smith is the most experienced quarterback on the roster and went 4 for 10 for 46 yards against the Raiders and did not play against the Broncos. Mannion went 7 for 11 for 34 yards against the Raiders and 13 for 23 for 118 yards against the Broncos. Mago was cut after going 9 for 13 for 91 yards with 2 interceptions in the loss to Denver, so expect to see Smith playing again on Saturday. My second betting advice for that game is to pick under. Good luck to all of you. That's it for this video. Stay tuned and stay safe for the next betting tips and advice.